ice. I know it's not a good
You're
story.
ice skating?
I'm ice skating. No,
Jews don't
not on
ice skate.
purpose.
Jews don't ice skate.
It didn't start out that way.
Swedish people ice skate. Norwegian people ice skate.
Well,
Jews eat, ice skate, and die.
Not necessarily in that order, but I have now I went to the doctor, so he tells me I got to wear this cast, and I got to take painkillers and get a girlfriend. So that's kind of annoying. But no, it's not. See, you take a while. I love these guys. I'm taking them on the road with me. What's funny is you mentioned carpal tunnel. I feel badly for people who have carpal tunnel because they don't have a good story. You know, you say you slipped on the ice, or you say, hey, dude, you broke your hand. What happened? Oh, I was in a bar. Some guy disrespected my girl. I had to clock him. That's a good story. You got carpal tunnel. It's like, dude, what did you do to your hand? I was working on my computer. It's not as good as it's not as good a story. But I've been good. I'm a little jet lagged. I was traveling. I was in Europe, so I'm a little off at the schedule, and I don't sleep anymore at home because they just started doing what's going to be a 6-month renovation of my apartment building, which is horrible because I got this whole team of guys doing construction. They come in at 8 in the morning. They go to 4 in the afternoon. This whole week, I haven't needed an alarm clock or a wake-up call. Every day I'm waking up to. I've had no sleep the whole week. It's been terrible. And so I went to my buddy's house the other night because I had an audition the other day. I didn't want to wake up with the noise and be all cranky. So my friend says, well, you can stay with me. It amazes me how people have such different tolerances for stuff because he lives in Queens. He's got one of those apartments like people do where it's in front of the elevated subway. How do people live there? I'm whining to you guys about the drilling of my place for, what, 5-6 days? His place, we're talking every 5-6 minutes. You got a train barrel in front of you. You can't even have a conversation there. Lord knows you can't finish one because everything's like, hey, dude, what's up? Oh, not much. I just came back from the... I'm like, dude, what? Seriously, when did Charlie Brown's teacher start working for the transit authority? It's 2009. We got robots on Mars. We got space stations that turn urine into drinking water. Can we please fix the PA on the subway train now? We need to get our technological priorities together. You know, it's funny you mentioned my dad. I was just talking to my dad on the. We need to fix the cell phones. I was talking to my dad. He says hello, by the way. And so my dad, I hate when my dad calls me from the cell phone for 2 reasons. One, he's always in his car. And 2, my dad's one of those guys who calls you from his car phone. Then he spends like 80% of the conversation yelling at traffic. While I'll have a normal, decent, pleasant conversation. He's got road rage. I never hear half of it because of the buildings in town. The reception's terrible. The signal's always dropping out, always digitizing and stuff. He wonders why I don't return half his calls because he keeps leaving messages on my answering machine like this. Yeah, stay with your father here. I'm in the car. I just got to work. Let's later tonight. So anyway, at 8:30, that'd be great. And you can call me at 212. That was our whole conversation.
Steve Scott! I didn't call you a comedian.
No, you did.
You're better than that. You make noise.
You know, Pat was asking me the other day. He asked me, it was like having a dad as a newscaster. And the weird part about when you have a dad as a broadcaster who's got a loud broadcast voice, it's intimidating to get yelled at as a kid. You know, because you get that loud broadcaster voice. And if I was ever so bad that my mom would have to call him up at work, that was his worst because he'd yell at me in that tone. He'd pick up like, "Yeah, it's your father. Yeah, your mother just told me what you did. Well, I'll tell you something, mister. You're in a lot of trouble. And you're going to get it when I get home. Tonight, at 11. You know, it was always...
Are you working?
I'm working. Thank God. Yeah, go, if you have a chance, visit my website, stevenscott.tv. I'm in town all week here in New York City doing a bunch of the clubs, and I'm traveling down to Florida
You're
next month.
the future of comedy.
I am, thanks to this man. You know what?
Not for me, because for me, forget about it.
It's so nice when you're a young guy and you start out and you get the support of a guy like Pat Cooper. I know he gets on and he's loud and he rants, and people know he is the nicest, most generous man in the business. I'm here today because, you know, when they said it's for Pat Cooper, I don't even ask any other questions. I show up, and I thank this man for being, it means a lot when you're a young guy starting out.
You're a nice man. I love you.
Thank you. I love you
Steve Scott, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, we're going to start the show in 10 minutes. I got to tell you, this is such a kick for me, because every time I've done this thing, it's going to be about a year. I don't really have that a couple of notes that I can't read my own handwriting. And it's a gas because it's like Russian roulette to come out here and just talk off the top. It comes easy for me sometimes, and sometimes it comes difficult. But tonight it came a little easy because this place is packed. They've had some big stars here, sick because this is packed. Doesn't matter if there's 400 people or 4 people. The trick is to make the 4 people entertain them like you would 400 people. I may come here one night or 2 and do a stand-up show, and I'll probably go in the toilet. Because when you do a stand-up show, you got to be a little bit in a box. But I don't like to work that way. I like to work the way I'm doing it now. And I don't know where this is going to go, this show. So far, I've not received any fan mail. But I did receive my autograph from China. I received a female wrote me one of the pictures. She said she liked I was cute with my curls. Please send me a picture. And I said, well, let's start. China and Sweden. So what I'm trying to tell you is the show is over. This thing should have been on fucking slides. I'll tell you how important this show is. Tomorrow they say, you know what happened? Joey Reynolds walked out and said, fuck you. I didn't bring him on because I wanted him to go on a little bit last because he's got some great stories, and then I didn't realize that he has a show and he starts taping some of the things around 9:30, 10 o'clock. But I apologize because I wasn't being rude to him, but fuck him. Anyway, not really. No, I'm kidding. You people that came here tonight with the weather, you're out of your fucking mind. If you didn't show up, I wouldn't have had to come here tonight.